Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get this meeting started. This is the Anderson Township Zoning Commission meeting for Monday, April 22nd, 2013. We've got 4 items on the agenda tonight, so we'll begin with approval of the agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as submitted.
We have one minor change for item number 4, case 1, 1987. We're requesting to postpone that application until next month.
And I would modify my motion to approve the agenda with the addition of case 1-1987 being postponed to the May meeting.
Okay, we have a motion. Can I get a second?
I second that motion.
Thank you. Roll call.
Ms. McBride?
Yes.
Mr. Gothard?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Van Patten?
Yes. Next item is approval of the minutes from March 25th, 2013. Looks like Jonathan, you and Ann and Christine were all here, so those minutes were sent out previously. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of the March 25th, 2013 meeting.
Thank you, Ann. Second?
I'll second.
Second, Jonathan. Roll call.
Ms. McBride?
Yes.
Mr. Gothard?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Van Patten?
Yes. Third item on the agenda is case number 1-2013, final development plan. This is filed by Stephen Smith with Burgess & Nyepel on behalf of Mercy Hospital Anderson. The property is located at 7500 State Road. It is Zone 00 Planned Office. And just for the record, this is a final development plan. This is not a public hearing. So we will hear from the staff first. Paul, you're up.
Okay, as Mr. Chair stated, the applicant Stephen Smith from Burgess & Nyepel on behalf of Mercy Health, Our Lady of Mercy Hospital, Marymount, Ohio, who is the property owner. The location is at 7500 State Road, and the zoning is 00, which is planned office. The request is a final development plan approval for an approximately 128,000 square foot, 7-story patient tower addition, a new energy plant, approximately 44 feet by 74 feet, and a parking lot reconfiguration and expansion for net gain of 121 spaces, with the overall total parking for the entire campus at 1,419 spaces. This was, the blue is the 00 zoning, the yellow is a single-family zoning district, and to the south of the property there is a DD zoning district, which is planned multifamily. This is state. This is the 5-mile corridor through here. The this section here was also rezoned to 00 planned office. So as part of that rezoning and also the proposed improvements to the facility, this is being heard as a final development plan for the entire site, not just the portion of the property that was rezoned. So this, before you tonight, is consideration of the final development plan for the entire campus. Moving forward, this will be the development plan that is referred to. So we just wanted to make that clear. This is the aerial, and the entire property is 45.33 acres net. There's 1,200 feet of frontage on State, which is the State Road here, and 1,500 feet of frontage on 5 Mile Road, and then 200 feet on Wolf Angle, which is this little area back here. As far as the topography goes, the area on the southern portion of the site is primarily flat. There is somewhat of a slope. There is a creek that pretty much cuts through the property, and then there is a steep ravine. All of the development has been concentrated south of the creek. And again, the surrounding zoning primarily is single family. This site is zoned 00, as well as the Mercy Healthplex. There is planned multifamily. The original plan for the hospital was approved in 1982, and this was case Anderson 182, and this was for the current development plan that's in place. There has been multiple additions and improvements throughout the years. With the latest, there was a modification in late 2012 for signage on the property, for freestanding signage. The zone change was approved, the current zone change was approved in December the 6th, 2012 with 6 conditions. On January 28th, the Zoning Commission reviewed the application on a public hearing and approved the case with 5 conditions. The Board of Township Trustees held a public hearing on February the 21st, 2013 and approved the zone change 3 with a vote of 3-0 with the same 5 conditions as recommended by the Zoning Commission. So to date, with the agency reports, we do route the final development plan to all the agencies in the county that would review an application. We have received letters from the Anderson Township Fire and Rescue, Hamilton County Soil and Water, Hamilton County Stormwater and Infrastructure, Metropolitan Sewer District, and all these agencies have responded favorably to the proposal with no major objections. So with a final development plan, let me go through the slides here before I get too far ahead of myself. Again, State, 5 Mile, and Wolf Angle. This is the main entrance into the hospital campus. This parking area is proposed to be reconfigured to have north-south orientation instead of east-west in its current configuration. The proposed tower would be at the current main entrance of the hospital. This area has changed somewhat from the plans that you reviewed during the zone change process. The plans that you reviewed before had the parking extending in an east-west fashion, and that has since been modified for north-south configuration. The berming and landscaping separating the proposed parking to the adjacent residential uses, we'll see a map of that. The energy plan is still proposed to be the same. The lighting plan has been modified to be consistent with the Hamilton County Regional Planning Commission condition of 0-foot candles at the property line, and the remaining is consistent with township lighting standards. And this is very difficult to see on the screen. The plans in your packet show this a little bit better, but the interior parking landscaping requirements are being achieved, as well as the perimeter along State. And this buffer between the parking lot and the residential uses to the east was discussed in great length. The Regional Planning Commission recommended a fence also be included in the landscaping mound, but if you'll recall, when it came back to the Zoning Commission, it was decided that a berm and a mixture of deciduous and evergreen trees would probably be more appropriate. So that's what is being proposed, and again, with the combination of mounding and deciduous and evergreen, there is a solid screen between the parking lot and the residential area. And this gives you a concept of what that would look like. Again, the interior parking aisles, interior parking landscaping, and then the landscape berm with the additional landscaping. These are the proposed elevations for the tower addition from the different northeast, south, and west. And then these were some of the pictures that were taken back in January, showing the existing buffering between the parking lot and the adjoining residential uses, which you can see there are large mature evergreen trees. This picture here was taken from the northern portion of the new proposed parking lot looking back toward the hospital. This is looking toward the tower addition, standing at State, looking at the main entrance of the hospital. And then this is looking south toward the existing private drive that's there. It's parallel with a second private drive. So the way the staff summary is written is the Hamilton County Regional Planning Commission conditions are labeled, and again, their conditions were 1 through 6, and the staff summary states if the proposed plan was in compliance with those conditions. All of the conditions are being met except for the item number 3 where it talks about a solid screen in addition with landscaping including a fence, but that's been modified as part of the trustee and zoning commission resolution. Number 5, all parking spaces and drive aisles reconfigured as part of this expansion shall be designed to comply with the standards of the zoning resolution. all the new parking spots are compliant. There is a portion of the existing parking lot that is not compliant, however, was compliant at the time it was constructed, and that is this area here. So at the current time, this parking lot is not proposed to be modified except for repair, but not a reconfiguration and redesign of the entire area. The Zoning Commission and Board of Trustees conditions, again, all items are compliant except for number 4, which would be a future item. And item number 4 discusses an easement be made available for a combined hike bike trail along the eastern portion of the site. And again, that would come at a later time, either at the time the township proposes a trail connection north from State to Clough, or at a future time. As far as zoning compliance with the remainder of the zoning resolution, everything was compliant. So with that, the recommendation was to approve the final development plan, and just the one standard condition is that a revised set be submitted if the zoning commission had any future conditions. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Paul. Questions from the zoning commission? Start down in the end. Christine, anything at this time?
I do not have any questions.
Okay. Jonathan, anything? Okay. And to my left.
The only question that I had, Paul, was the berming there, excuse me, on the east property line. When I looked at the grading plan, it looked like it was about 5 feet, but when you look at that cross-section that they did, it's barely up to the hood of the car, showing it maybe about 3 feet.
Sorry. Well, I'll let the applicant speak to that. There may just be a differentiation between the grading plan and the conceptual drawing, so we'll defer to Mr. Smith on that if you...
Paul, just my question is about this feature item on the easement.
Yes.
Would that be an application, or would that be just an administrative action?
Administrative action.
Okay.
The township has done preliminary engineering for that connection, for trails connection along Wolf Angle, and we've submitted a grant application for that section as well, and we're waiting on response to our grant application, and there's a lot of questions in the air if the grant's obtained and if the township moves forward or not. So.
Okay, very good. Anything else here? We'll go ahead and hear from the applicant, if they're present here tonight. Yeah,
we need you.
Come on up and introduce yourself. And
I'm Steve Smith with Burgess & Eipel, and I was the civil engineer on the project. Just wanted to answer Mr. McBride's question. The berm will be a 5-foot berm, so basically on our side of the road behind the curb, we have a berm, about a 4-foot flat spot, then it slopes down towards the property line on the backs on the east side of the property. So it will be 5 feet. The conceptual drawing is just drawn a little flatter than my cross-section show.
okay.
And how far is the toe of that slope on the east side from the eastern property line then?
It's approximately 4 feet. And basically, what we've done there with a grading and drainage, the water used to flow across the entire site to the east. We've pretty much captured that, so the water, there's just maybe 10 feet or so of grading that's draining towards the direction where it goes to the part of the creek area. So we've mitigated any water coming off our site except for the backside of that berm, and that will be landscaped relatively heavily, so we wouldn't imagine any issues that would be associated with that.
Good. Any other questions?
Yes, on the east side of the toe, you're getting good positive drainage and you're not creating any low spots that may be an issue in the future for the...
It's matching the current grading that's out there. It's relatively flat gravel drive back there. So it does not really have a strong positive drainage or any drainage of any kind on the private property on that side. But we are putting less water on that property than currently flows across that property.
Other questions?
No questions?
No? Go ahead.
On the photometric lighting plan, you've got those P1 fixtures that are going back there in the northeast corner of the site. And those are 24-foot poles, and I'm assuming a 2.5-foot base.
I believe the total height of the pole has to be 24.
Total height is 24 feet.
Okay, because the pole's just noted at 24, and typically they would be on a concrete base, so.
I believe our requirement will be the total height is 24 feet.
Okay. Well, my question was, in particular, those ones along the eastern property line, then, what I didn't see on there, and maybe I just missed it, was, are those shielded fixtures along that east side?
They're cut off they can be cut off. They go 0 at the property line.
Right.
So typically, I think they're shoebox style that have the cutoff, so they're not an open bulb, but a
Yeah,
cutoff
I know
can
you
be.
got the flat lenses.
Yeah.
My concern is, if you're on the second floor of one of those homes, that you're not looking directly into the fixture. I understand that the light is theoretically going to stop at the property line, but you're still going to get that glare looking out their windows, so that's why I was hoping that those could be shielded.
They should be shielded, yeah, they can be shielded,
Okay.
yes.
And then my next question relative to lighting was, is there any proposed lighting on the building on the east side, particularly, like, for example, on the new energy plant or power plant? Is there going to be any wall packs or anything? No. Okay, good. And then relative to the energy plant, you've got mechanical louvers on the east side. Will there be any noise that's going to be coming out of those, or substantial noise, or what can we and the residents expect on that?
I will defer to Brett. He will come up here and answer that question.
Hi, I'm Brett Oberholzer with Champlin Architecture. We're designing the facility. We have sound data and the Anderson Township and the Hamilton County compliance of 52 dB nighttime will be under that, as well as 62 daytime. And the building is designed such a way with acoustic louvers and sound deadening material and sound attenuation in the building itself, and we will be within compliance.
And then on the south side of that building, and I think this is probably yours as well, you've got a wood screen wall, but nothing on the east side, which, again, those residents would see from a second floor window. Is there a reason why we're screening the south side to the hospital and not the east side to the potential second floor residences?
Right, that's not correct. There are actually screens on all 4 sides. The energy building itself is taller, and then there's a sort of yard to the south, and it's screened on all exposed sides.
Okay. And then my last question, and I'm not sure, it might be back to the engineer, had to do with pedestrian crosswalks. You've got the stripe right now in white. Is there going to be any kind of signage, we've got the yellow narrow signs that say pedestrian crosswalk or something? My thought behind that is a lot of times when people are either driving or walking in a hospital parking lot, you're maybe not as focused as you might be in the Kroger parking lot or the Township parking lot. You're under a stressful situation potentially. So, rather than just have a striped white pedestrian crosswalk, will there be anything else marking those?
Certainly, we have not proposed anything at this time, but certainly the paddles could be installed. That would be more appropriate. What they do currently, they do have, as you go past the surgery area, they have some low signs, watch for pedestrians. So we probably wouldn't have the large yellow signs, or they would probably more likely be the low paddles that you would normally see, like in a crosswalk, that would be catch the eye more often. But we can investigate that, yes.
Yeah, I think, again, given this type of a parking situation, that's probably a little bit more important than the
Okay.
others. Those are all the questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, with that, there being no more questions, I'll entertain a motion of the zoning commission.
I would make a motion that we approve the final development plan for Mercy Health Anderson, case 1-2012, 7500 State Road, with the following additional conditions. that the energy plant have the wood screens on all 4 elevations, that the P1 lighting fixtures that are located adjacent to the east property line be fully shielded, and that additional pedestrian signage, yellow signage be added to the crosswalk locations on the site, and that there would be no wall packs on the eastern side of the building.
Okay. Staff pick that up? Paul?
Additional pedestrian signage, okay, no wall packs. Yes.
Okay. Second for that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jonathan. We have roll call.
Ms. McBride?
Yes.
Mr. Goffard?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Van Dyke?
Yes. Thank you. That's the last item on the agenda.
That's the last item.
Next meeting,
Is a week earlier because of Memorial Day weekend. So it's May the 20th. So it's the third Monday of May instead of the fourth.
I better write that down.
And right now, we'll have tire discounters on the agenda.
May
that we know
20th?
of. May the 20th.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
Christine, thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Jonathan, thank you. Roll call. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.